We've all been on quite the journey since the beginning of Kingdom Hearts. Remember when we thought only Sora and Riku could wield Keyblades? And we were only able to have a silhouette of Mickey in the first game? The series has come a long way since then. As awesome as Kingdom Hearts is, it does suffer from some accessibility issues. Console games, handheld games, movies, mobile titles, all these different entities comprise Kingdom Hearts. I think it's part of the series' charm, but I can see why a lot of people wouldn't have played some of the most recent titles, particularly Kingdom Hearts Dark Road. Hi there, Keifi here, and today I'm going to recount Chapter 1, An Unexpected Departure. So just sit back, relax, and enjoy the beginning of the journey down this dark road. Chapter 1 begins with Xehanort having flashbacks of his past life as the player character. When he awakens, he sheds a single tear. The memories, emotions, connections he shared in his past life both overwhelm and confuse him. It's no wonder he feels like he's destined for something more, and feels trapped in the confines of Destiny Islands. To make matters even worse, shortly after Xehanort's dream, another version of himself shows up. Ansem, the Heartless. We learn that in Dream Drop, a version of himself from the future showed up on Destiny Islands, and this began his descent towards darkness. So realistically, Xehanort didn't even have a chance. He was always fated to be the villain in the story. Always. Before long, the robed figure opens up a portal, and Xehanort steps inside to meet his destiny, and finds his way to the mythical land of Scala ad Caelum. We all know that Xehanort and Eraqus were best friends and classmates, as demonstrated by their several chess matches in Kingdom Hearts 3. But did you know that Xehanort had 5 other classmates that he was really close with? Erd, Bregi, Vor, Hermid, and Baldur. 5 pretty ridiculous names, I know, but just bear with me. Let's forget about Baldur for now, as he isn't invited to the first class, the very first mission that we experience. For it is here that their teacher, Master Odin, reveals that 7 of the upperclassmen went out on the Mark of Mastery exam and never returned. Scary stuff. What's worse is that Baldur's sister was one of the upperclassmen, which was why he was not invited. Pretty inconsiderate, but that's what happens. And even though he knows they're not ready, Odin sends them off on their journey with just a little bit of knowledge and not much else. So Xehanort, Eraqus, Erd, Bregi, Vor, and Hermid all set out to depart. But before they do, they have a conversation about the state of the worlds. The previous Keyblade War had engulfed the world in darkness, so now the worlds are slowly in the process of being rebuilt. In each world, time flows differently. Some worlds are already complete, while others are not, and time is at a standstill. Eraqus uses the example that worlds are like people. Some are babies that can only crawl. Some are toddlers that have just started walking. While other people who were born yesterday are already adults that can run. Pretty good way to sum up the state of the worlds. With this knowledge, the party departs. Xehanort and Eraqus decide to form a team of their own. And if you play the game, you get to choose which of Erd, Bregi, Vor, and Hermid join them in their adventure. And they set off to Agrabah. After dispatching some Heartless, the trio discuss whether or not these creatures were the ones responsible for the disappearance of their upperclassmen. Ultimately, they decide that if they were any stronger, they could have caused it. So with that knowledge, the trio decide to head back to Scala where the other three friends await them, having just arrived back themselves. They, too, also ran into Heartless on their journey. Strong Heartless. But everyone agrees to keep this a secret from Master Odin, believing that as Keyblade wielders, they should be able to stop whatever's happening. Ericus then pipes up that if anyone ever feels like they're in real danger, to run, and not to turn around. The group kinda laughs this off as a joke, but it likely is foreshadowing of some sort, which doesn't look like it bodes well for this group of friends. And as if to confirm your suspicion, the game immediately cuts to 4 years later. Xehanort is placing flowers on 4 of his friends' gravestones, implying that all of the new characters introduced may have met their demise. A saddened Xehanort tells Ericus he has decided to depart to explore more of the worlds. Of course, Ericus wants him to stay, but Xehanort refuses. However, he states he will return for the Mark of Mastery exam. As Xehanort departs on a stormy evening, Ericus and his friends share a light moment, fooling around about the number of chess matches won. Before ultimately, Xehanort departs into the darkness. If you like part 1 of my summary, feel free to hit the like and subscribe button. I'll be doing part 2 next week. My name is Keifi, wishing you a great day. May your heart be your guiding key, and happy gaming.
This was where it started. At this point, I still had no idea that I was talking to myself. He cast away his bodily form just to set me on the appointed path.